he fooled Christian for a bit. He thought he was actually friends with Vanessa Hudgens. And also, to catch us all up, because Megan does not appear after the last episode, and it's because around this time she discovered like the drawing that he made of her, and it like was circulating online, and so that's that whole drama. But
You're like, I do not want to talk about it.
yeah, and then thought he talked about like another sweetheart in this, but I guess not because I'm not seeing anything. Also, Mary Lee Walsh in this episode like gathers all the villains that we have seen previously, including these like new guys up here that I'll get into later. And she's like, "We gotta go stop Christian," and the villains are like, "Hurrah, let's go do that." And that is this episode. Come on. Oh shit. So this is not a part of the main series, but this is just like a little one-off thing he does where it's like DJ jams to Sonichu interviewing Blanca and her OC Giuliani, whatever the fuck her name is. And this has no relevance on like the main plot, but this is like another one of his potential sweethearts that is quite obviously a fake character. Her name is Blanca Weiss, which is just like two different ways of saying white, because it's like kind of a parody on like how he only wanted to date white women. So, no.
No. We finally got to the beach episode.
Okay. Rage Against the Garbage. Before we...
I see some quality moments in here.
I'm gonna sit down for this one. I would just like to state that I read a heavily censored version of this comic, but I read the kind of spark notes on the quickie so I could like keep up with what was happening. So Rage Against the Garbage. We learned some very valuable information in this first introduction to the series. So I think it is very telling that this episode starts off with a little disclaimer that both Sonichu and Rose 2 are of legal age to they're 19 and 18 respectively. Also, I think that's just like a revision though, because in the original I think they were actually 16 and 17. So there were a lot of revisions that happened regarding this series. Among the things that we learned in this episode though are that Sonichu and Roseville live at 14 Brunchville Lane in Quickville, Virginia, and Sonichu has a massive 7-incher and for the most part cannot wear regular sized condoms because they break too easily. So he has to get supersized ones. Also, their house is completely paid for by taxpayer dollars, so if there are any residents of Quickville, Virginia out there, just know that that's where your money is going to. Also, a part of this episode that was censored in this was like, so Christian gets into the anatomy of their reproductive organs, and so we learned a lot of valuable things. That
I hope the next line is just a censor bar.
No. So here's some very fun tidbits about Sonichu's and Rose 2's that no one should realistically know about.
Vagina or China.
So among the things that we find out is that Rose 2's only have nipples when they're horny, so they cannot nurse their younglings. Unless they are ready for action.
Psyched up.
Also, we learned that Sonichu's have an internal penis, but when it's erect, it can like slide out of them by like leaning forward.
Hang on. normally hidden from
You know,
view
like-
by some hideous flap of skin, which recedes during urination, sexual arousal, or spike up attack.
So can I so the way I'm supposed to believe a Sonichu dick works is like one of those lightsabers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like that. I like that example. I should have included like a picture or something.
Sex
A
may be painful.
lightsaber.
Holy shit, sex may be painful for Rose Chew for the first time, even causing her to bleed.
Yep. Yep.
He got into it. He went detailed. How do you know, Chris? Answer me this, Chris. How do
He
you know?
doesn't know.
How do you know, Chris?
Okay, so our story begins after this wild night of intercourse between Sonichu and Rose Chew. And Rose Chew is like during the morning after kind of reading articles online, and she stumbles across this page that is called 4-cent garbage, which, like I said, is like it's supposed to be 4chan, but it's like different. And she finds like all these like hyper realistic depictions of like the Sonichu crew doing like really weird, deplorable things, and she's like, oh shit, I have a dick. Because one of the running gags that people would do to troll Christian was draw his characters with like dicks, like specifically Rose Chew and stuff like that. Because I think she evolved from a male Raichu in the series or whatever, so everyone's like, Rose Chew's trans.
People think that because he wrote the comic before there were gender differences in Pokemon, so he didn't have a little heart-shaped tail on his Raichu, which means that it was, if using the new game logic, means that it was a male Raichu. And so people trolled him over that, and he was like,
Yeah.
no!
No!
So Rose Chew is like pissed, and she, to combat this, takes like nude pictures of herself and posts them online so people can see that she has a vagina. But like every time she posts a picture of herself with a vagina, another one gets posted of her with a dick. And so this plotline comes up later. She's like, I gotta get all the girlies in on this. And so that gets brought up later.
After that.
What?
I know what happened.
I don't know anything. Keep going. I don't know what's going on.
Okay. So Sonichu and Rose Chew are like, oh shit, this website sucks. And they go to the 4-cent garbage headquarters with Wild Sonichu, because Wild is there to find another Sonichu ball that's like located in the building. That plotline is not important, just know that he finds the Sonichu ball. And also, so Sonichu and Rose Chew have a meeting with the CEO of 4-cent garbage, Jason Kendrick Howell, and his office is on the 72nd floor at the very top of the building. And so they're riding up this elevator, and there's like a lot of kooky, quirky things that happen, like on the elevator ride up. But they eventually get there, and this is my man, Jason Kendrick Howell, and he, in his first introduction, he's like, I have a 17-year-old sex slave, and this is illegal in all 50 states. So you know that this is a bad dude.
Evil guy.
Because he has a sex slave. And so Sonichu and Rose Chew are like, can you please take down the stuff about us? And he's like, no, I won't. And so they're like, okay. And they turn around to leave, but Jason Kendrick Howell is like, go on, Rose Chew, play with your pickle. And he throws a pickle at her. And this, I spit all over myself, hold on. This sends her into a blind rage, where she like removes all her clothing and she flings herself at him and like face rapes him. And so he's like incapacitated, and she's like, oh shit, Sonichu, I didn't mean to get that like crazy. Hopefully that never happens again.
Got a little wild with it.
She got a little wild with it. And so that happens, they leave the building, Magic Chain has a Sonichu ball, and that is this episode here. I don't think I'm missing anything.
I think you mentioned something very important. A very important line from this.
Oh, there is something I could mention if you would like.
Go ahead.
So when they gathered all the girls to do the nude
Oh,
photo
fuck, that's the
shoot-
next slide. That is the next
Okay,
slide.
okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let me check how much is on here.
Alright.
Let me check how much
Okay.
recording is here.
So